Hey guys, it's been a while. Hope everyone's doing all right. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I've seen a couple of people recently have subscribed, so just want to thank y'all for that. I've been really busy with my uploading schedule, especially with like college. I've been figuring things out, and I've had a lot of midterms. Had one today, and so today this video is just gonna be me talking a lot about like the future and like what I've been up to, a little bit of story time. A lot of my videos are probably gonna look like this, just because I'm fucking lazy fuck and I don't really care. And I just like making videos. I want to dish out an apology, for not uploading a lot, and for recent events for the people that know me. I've been developing a lot of bad habits up in college here. For the people who know me, I just want to apologize, I guess. I know that might seem really ominous for the people that I don't really know, but yeah, I've had a lot of experiences here, especially just like the college experience. I mean, it's just everything that you can kind of expect. I think I just want to dive right into like one story. I don't know. I think because college is just such a like a it's a place where you make the most memories for sure, because a lot has already happened in the first 3 months. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about some experiences, and this one story that I want to talk in particular about one of my friends. We'll call her Patricia. So, actually, no, let's choose a different name. Sally. Sally. We're going to go with Sally because that's just an easier name. Why the fuck did I think Patricia? Anyway, so Sally, right? Just to kick things off, you know what it's like in college, people are taking substances that they probably shouldn't be, not knowing how to handle them. Mind you, Sally is like 5'2", right? And like maybe 110 pounds. Like very, root of the mill, like white girl. And she thought she could go band for band in terms of substance consumption. If you know what that means, good for you. If you don't, then you shouldn't be watching this. But, you know, like spicy juice. We'll call it spicy juice. She thought she could go band for band with some of the boys, and obviously that did not fucking go well. She was extremely out of it, and this story is about how her friends came up from another college, and she couldn't get in her fucking room for the life of her. Like, we have door codes, like we have like this little lock thing, like it's like you push these like little buttons and then it unlocks it. She couldn't do it for the fucking life of her. And that was a problem because her friends needed to get some shit in her room, and it was a whole thing, and I'm gonna dive right into that. So, my dumbass, right? Okay, so I didn't think it was that out of like it would be that weird, right, to get an RA. And RA, if you don't know, is like I don't know what it stands for, but basically it's just like the police of the dorm. So like they make sure everything, they do rounds around the dorm to make sure nobody's doing anything they shouldn't be. Right? So I thought I could just get the code for her so that she would be able to get in her room, no problem, lickety split. So I go down to the first floor, right, with one or two of her friends, I don't remember. And I was just like, hey, like, she's having a hard time getting into her like room, like she forgot her code, like, can we get some help? And mind you, there's a police officer down there. Now, I didn't think that he would offer to help, but I should have just turned the other way as soon as I saw him, because as soon as I said, yeah, I need help getting into a room, he was just like, I got a key. I'm like, fuck! So, the RA and the police officer come up, and they needed to talk to her, and they needed her ID for consent purposes of going into her room. Now that makes a lot of sense, and I did not think that through. That was my bad. Here's where shit hits the fucking fan. Now, right next to her room, she's at the end of the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, at the end of every hallway, there's stairs. So she was in the stairwell talking to her friends, and then we go and get her, right, to, you know, get her ID, and she was sitting on the steps, and as soon as she got up, she was just stumbling. She slurred her words. Oh man, it was so bad. And they were just like, yep, this girl's fucked. So they had her sit down outside the stairwell for questioning, and yeah, they could just immediately tell that she was not here. She was so fucked up. After a little bit of questioning, they were just like, yeah, so like, the police officer said, yeah, so basically if we don't call EMS, which is like the ambulance, you're going to have to go to jail for you know what, intoxication, underage intoxication. And then she was just non-compliant. She like made a lot of excuses, and she made it a big deal, and it was just an issue, and she started crying, she started freaking out, and then she was just like, yeah, sure, I'll take the fucking EMS. And so he calls him in, and I try to calm her down and shit. Like, I had to put on her shoes because she had no fucking shoes on for whatever God knows what kind of reason. And I try to calm her down and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, no, you're not in trouble. You're just gonna, it's fine. Like, they're just gonna take you to the hospital, and you're just gonna lay there until you're done being the way you are. Now, the cop pulls me aside, and he's just like, I know you're like trying to like help out and everything, but like, she's definitely in trouble. I'm like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess. Which I already kind of knew that. But I was just trying to calm her down so that she would like understand that like it's not really that big of a deal. Because the reason why the cop offered EMS, and most people don't know this, is that you become a protected citizen. Protected citizen cannot be, you know, under arrest, especially considering that she is on a college campus, and that she's a student. She's not just some bum, right, that doesn't go here. So he could put her under protected custody so that she doesn't, you know, go to jail. Now, when the EMS shows up, she starts freaking out, right? Like, because they had the stretcher and everything, and they were kind of rude. They were like, get on the stretcher, like, right now. And then she goes, fine, just put me on the stretcher, it's fine. She's like crying, and she was a mess. And her friends didn't understand that they couldn't go with her. It's family only. So they start freaking out. And I'm just like, guys, like, she's going to be fine. She's just going to be in a hospital. And then her parents are going to pick her up or whatever. Yeah, so next fucking morning, actually, that is not what happened. Sally tried to fucking run out of the hospital. And mind you, in between the times that she was like there at the getting there in the hospital, I don't know what exactly part of the time frame, she slipped out of handcuffs 3 times. I don't know how the fuck you managed to do that, but I guess she has small hands or something. She said something along the lines of like they didn't want it to be super tight so it wouldn't hurt, but I think they could have probably done it a little tighter considering that she slipped out 3 different fucking times. But anyway, when she got into the hospital, she got to her room, right? And then she was like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. Do you know where that is? And then the nurse was just like, yeah, right this way. And then walks out the door right behind her. She turns one way, the nurse, and then Sally just runs the complete other fucking way. And ran out of the hospital, and the cop had to chase her down. But because she resisted care, they had to then take her to jail. So she spent the night in jail, and her parents didn't know what the fuck, like, what to do, because it was like they missed, or the hospital, or sorry, the police department called her parents a couple of times, and they missed it, obviously, because it's fucking 3 in the goddamn morning. And So finally her mom picks up, and then she goes to the hospital that Sally was supposedly in, only to be told, yeah, so actually she's not here. And then so she had to like call multiple police stations. I had to figure it out. It wasn't the police station, sorry, the hospital called her parents. But by the time that her parents got there, she was gone because she fucking ran out of the hospital like a fucking loony. Basically, she got her mug shot. She spent the night in jail. And her parents kind of ripped into her about it, and then she told the story, and we were just like laughing off our fucking asses because it's just one of the most ridiculous things ever. And I mean, that story right there in itself just really just shows you like how ridiculous a lot of the shit that happens in college and just what it's like here. But yeah, it's just stuff like that, you know, like the substance abuse in college is actually like atrocious. And I would think, like, you know, going to UNH, it's like it's not that bad, right? Like it's like, oh, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a preppy school, like, you know what I'm kind of talking about, like where I'm going with that. It's a party school, like, without a doubt. And I live in one of the party like dorms, and I didn't really know that until like later, and I was just like, it's fine, there'll just be plenty to do. There's too much to do. There is so much to fucking talk about, or do, sorry, not talk about. Well, there is, but I guess that's just for later videos. But there's just so much to do here, in terms of like socializing and that kind of thing. It is ridiculous. I've seen so many people's like rooms get like busted by RAs for having things that they shouldn't have in the room, and like for being really loud, for like blasting music and having certain drinks that they probably shouldn't have. So yeah, and that kind of ties into like a lot of the issues that I will be talking about with those kind of substances. I must say it's hard not to partake when, you know, you're in a social setting where it's just like everybody's telling you to, and like you're making new friends, and like all your friends want to, and that kind of thing. And I guess what I'll be talking about is like just warning you about a lot of this stuff, especially like going into college. Like, if you really do not want to end up like that, like you really need to understand that you're going to be pushed. You're going to be almost like forced to do so, in order to like get friends. And I know it's like kind of fucked up. It's, you know, I understand, right? It's not great. All in all, I ended up doing things that I didn't think I would ever end up doing, like inhaling. For the sake of protecting myself, I will use the term inhaling. Inhaling certain toxins. Not like anything crazy, just like, you know, root of the mill, like vapes. Like, honestly, I think I could just outright say it. Everyone here does. And that is a big thing that I was pretty good about in high school. Like I would just stay away from it. But now it's just like I'll ask, like, hey, can I hit that? When like deep down I know I'm just like, wow, like I would have never imagined doing this before college, like asking to rip. Like I never did that before. And sorry, I had to fix my mic. I've never done that before. And, you know, throughout college, I've been feeling pretty ashamed of, like, about myself, like letting myself like do these things that other people are doing, and, you know, thinking it's okay because, oh well, you know, you're in college and whatever, and everyone's doing it, that makes it okay, when that's just not right. You know, it's just conforming to stupidity. And I've been struggling with that a lot, and I've been trying to find myself, you know, like trying to do other things like fishing and watching, you know, shows, and just kind of stuff like that, and like writing about my problems and having a planner and actually trying to take time studying more. going into that, school is so much harder than fucking high school. I'm not even gonna lie, because the thing in high school, the curriculum is very straightforward, especially with like the syllabus. In college, it is not, bro. Like, you could sit in a lecture and like pay attention, take notes, do all the homework, and like really try to pay attention and learn like from the homework, and maybe even do a little bit of research outside of it. And I haven't done well on that many either essays or midterms. I've been struggling. Like, I used to be like an A-B student, and I'm like looking at like C-B right now, and it's really hard, because senior year I thought that was hard. I took 2 APs and 3 honors classes, and I thought that was a lot. But like, this is just a totally different environment when you're given the opportunity to do kind of anything. You don't have like your parents breathing down your neck, which is going to be my next point about like do your homework. Like, it's everything is to your own accord. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people are like struggling with right now, because like a lot of people I know are like bombing their like midterms and stuff, and I'm pretty close to that threshold of bombing my midterms, and I've only bombed really one, and that was the hardest midterm in economics. And I don't bomb. The thing is I don't bomb tests usually. I usually don't. I think I've bombed like maybe 1 or 2 throughout the entirety of high school, and even still I did like fine. I did well on the other tests, and it's really like a wake up call, as to like what like responsibility and like knowing where to spend your time, which is why it's been a little bit difficult trying to get into getting back into making videos and stuff. But I'm here now, and I'm probably gonna post this soon. But yeah, like, dorm life is pretty fun. It's great. I have a roommate from back home. Some of you may know Deegan. I love Deegan a lot. He's great. We're very in sync, so it works out. He's very clean. We like, just today we cleaned our entire room and stuff. And I love him. He's great. We take out the trash. Clean up the floor. Everything's organized. It's good. He's a good roommate, and knowing your roommate, I think, is really important. So when you're coming up to college, I think you really want to know who your roommate is and not settle for less, because I'm very glad to have a roommate like Deegan, because we're very like on board on a lot of the same stuff, like sleeping wise. Like, he doesn't really care, if I like, because like I've been having a lot of sleeping problems, so like I'll come back like really late, like in the morning, like 12, not even 12, like 3 in the morning, doing whatever. And he doesn't really mind, because if I wake him up, he just goes back to sleep, and he doesn't like give me a hard time about it. And he's made it very clear that he doesn't mind at all, as long as it doesn't happen all the time. Like, as long as I don't wake him up all the time, but he doesn't care that much. Another big thing is like hygiene. Like it is very easy to forget to brush your teeth, because you don't live in your house. So like, there have been a couple times, and I used to be really stingy about brushing my teeth, because I think dental and oral hygiene is very important. And so it's something that I had to take into consideration a lot as well. And it's pretty easy to forget when you have so much going on, and you're free to do anything. But going on to my next point is like the friends that I met here, other than Deegan. Deegan has been my friend for quite some time, but like, I've met a lot of really cool people here that like, obviously the drama is always present. It's just kind of how it is, like, everywhere. People will be people. But making new friends has been really, really easy, honestly, because everybody's here for the same thing, and that's like to, get the college like experience and socialize and get your degree and that kind of thing. And it's been pretty easy. Not everyone is a complete utter asshole to me anymore. That was something that I experienced a lot in high school. I would get made fun of all the time. And on top of that, like, my life at home, like, wasn't really fantastic. And I know a lot of you guys, like, know that my parents are kind of loaded. God bless for that. But also at the same time, they're like your run-of-the-mill, like, stingy, like, rich asshole parents that, like, obsess over, like, the littlest of things and will, like, call you, like, a hooligan for, like, breathing wrong or like crossing your arms at the dinner table, which is literally something that those are both things I've been yelled at for. And not having that anymore has been awesome. Like, I can just lay in my bed and not have anybody like walk into my room yell at me about me not doing something, because everything that I need to do is like in my room, so I don't have to worry about cleaning the bathroom and doing this and doing some yard work and all that kind of bullshit. And I've gone home a couple times because I only live an hour away. And again, like, it's, I much rather this life than being at home. And I don't know if a lot of people cannot relate to that here. A lot of people like going home. I only like going home for things that I like need to like bring up here, which I will be bringing up my driving setup, and I'll probably do some videos on I don't know, fucking around in Forza or whatever, or like post some like racing clips or whatever. But other than that, like, I don't know. I just don't necessarily. I'd never enjoyed like being like back home, like in high school. Like, I didn't enjoy high school like I enjoy college. But yeah, I think a big thing is that like influence. Like, people here have a lot of influence on you, because you will meet like all kinds of people here. It's not like high school at all, where like everybody's kind of like the same and everybody's like, they act kind of the same. Like, nah, like, people here are like genuinely just different in all kinds of ways, and I think that's really good, for self-growth. But also can be very, very bad if you hang around the wrong people. So when you come up to college, like for myself, I ended up in some crowds that I knew that probably weren't good for me, but I hung out with them anyway and ended up doing things that I would have never imagined myself doing. And I think people really need to take that into account, right? Like, the mindset of the group is what it becomes you. So just be very wary of that. But yeah, that's been my life here, pretty much, just like in the dorm and in college. And I got a new job. Having a job is pretty great, honestly, because it takes away, it forces you to be responsible. It puts a little bit more pressure on you, and also you have money to do stuff. And it's also great that I don't have a car, because I don't have to pay for gas. I don't have, like, I'm not going to go out to eat. I don't go out to eat as much because there's the dining hall. And, I can spend money here and there on, complimentary things like a drink or, stuff like that. So when you go to college, do look for a job, unless you are like going into like a major that is very difficult. I would heavily recommend getting a job at college, because it'll really help you out. If anything, it's just more like a tool for when you want to do other things other than like school and socializing and stuff. And it'll force you to be more responsible, and it's good for you. That's pretty much all I have to really talk about for right now. I hope to get some more videos out in the future. For my future videos, I'm probably going to be doing some similar stuff. I definitely will have enough stories to talk about. I don't have a doubt in my mind. And recently, as you can see, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield. It's up on the screen. So, and you can probably tell I fucking suck ass. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you watch this to the end, please make sure to subscribe and like, comment, whatever, blah 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 blah, because I'm gonna be making money now. So like, if there are games that you would like me to play, I will definitely get into those games for sure, because I don't know, I've been kind of struggling with like finding games to play, because like, you know, Battlefield is fun and all, but like not that much. So please, if you have any recommendations, please just let me know. I will be more than happy to play those games, and you can get my reaction and whatever, and I'll probably end up showing you my setup at one point. I'm kind of sick, very under the weather currently. I don't know if you can tell by my slightly gurgly, raspy voice. Okay. I think that was enough proof. Oh, that was gross. Ugh. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just let me know in the comments below if there's anything you want to see next. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya. Won't you take me home? I wanna ride.